Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. Topping our newscast tonight, Congress has passed the Virgin Islands rum cover-over. The territory will now be receiving the $13.25 rate as opposed to the $10.50 rate per gallon proof. News 2's Shanika Robinson has details from Governor John DeYoung.
The annual Internal Revenue Matching Fund advance payment of excise taxes collected on the Virgin Islands rum imported into the United States was passed by Congress.
Passage of the cover-over, I think, is an indication that they understand the importance of it. The rum program, and what I've tried to do over the number of years, is really build a rum program for the Virgin Islands based on the congressional approval that we have going back to 1957, and to build that program based on strong brands.
The Virgin Islands will now be receiving the $13.25 rate. However, every 2 years, the payment reverts back to $10.50 per proof gallon unless Congress acts to extend it.
Having it at the $13.25 rate is really is beneficial for us. We're going to continue to fight to make sure that we can keep it at this rate on a permanent basis, because it seems to revert back to the $10.50 every 2 years.
Governor DeYoung mentioned how much he was grateful for the support of Congress, who recognized the importance of the rum cover-over in the Virgin Islands.
The key support of Chairman Wyden and his colleagues, Senator Rockefeller, Senator Hatch, Senator Crable, who have truly, as I mentioned, been steadfast supporters of the Virgin Islands through our outreach program, has just been tremendous in terms of solidifying our position and having them understand exactly how important this is.
This fiscal year, a shortfall was predicted, and as a result of the rum cover-over being passed, the debt is now less.
This particular year, this fiscal year, is extremely important because of the shortfall that we were able to close the gap on, and now we just have to find, with the members of the 30th legislature, find a way to further close that shortfall before September 30th of 2014.
Shaniqua Robinson, News 2.
In other news, police on St. Thomas arrested Rosemary Sauter-Fret after she was extradited back to St. Thomas to face charges of obtaining money by false pretense, embezzlement by fiduciaries, and operating a criminal enterprise. The suspect was arrested just before 10 p.m. on April 3rd. The arrest stems from charges levied by the VIPD in February 2010, when investigation revealed that she billed her real estate customers of more than $3 million. Sauter-Fret fled the Virgin Islands in 2010 and was recently located living in San Diego. Sauter-Fret was held on a $1 million bail and remanded to the Bureau of Corrections pending further court action. The drowning victim, whose body was recovered near Tatch Key on Sunday, has been identified as 48-year-old Christopher Blodgett. According to reports, the man had set off about 4 p.m. Saturday with a friend to swim from Cokey Point to Tatch Key. The men were separated, and the survivor was able to make it to Tatch Key, where he reportedly spent the night and then got to St. Thomas the next day and made that report. The Coast Guard located Blodgett's body around 11 a.m. and transferred his body to DPNR personnel via boat. Traffic officers on St. Thomas are investigating a fatal car accident that occurred on the Weymouth-Reimer Highway near the entrance to the New Herrnhut Church on April 1st. Police were dispatched to the accident about 9:10 p.m. The driver of the vehicle told police he was driving west on Weymouth Highway in a beige Toyota 4Runner when he collided into the victim, 54-year-old Jeffrey Smith, who was crossing the roadway from north to south, pushing a shopping cart. The accident caused severe injuries to the lower extremities of the victim, who was transported by ambulance to the Schneider Hospital. He died on April 2nd. Police Commissioner Rodney Querrard Sr. commented on today's sentencing of Jose Ventura and Jose Rivera Jr. Both defendants received life without the possibility of parole for their roles in the torture and murder of Virgin Islands police officer Wendell Williams. Today marks the end of a long and arduous journey for the Virgin Islands Police Department and the friends and family of Corporal Wendell Williams. According to the police commissioner, now the officers who were close to him as well as his family can find solace in knowing justice has finally been done. Officer Williams' spirit can now rest in peace And that was the word from St. Croix Police Chief James Paris, who also acknowledged the guilty verdict. He credited the cold case squad for reopening the case and tracking down new evidence. In other news, police continue to investigate a homicide on St. John that has attracted attention from the stateside media and political leaders from New Jersey. The body of James MALFETTI, 41, was found inside his Boatman Point Road apartment on January 19th with stab wounds to his neck. MALFETTI, who was from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, had lived on St. John about a year and ran a technical consulting business. His parents, James and Rosemary MALFETTI, hired a private detective to investigate their son's murder for them. Anonymous St. John resident has added $5,000 to the reward fund for the person who provided information leading to the arrest and conviction of the person or persons responsible for the murder. MALFETTI's parents initially put up $25,000. They have appeared on national news reports, including News 12 New Jersey, saying they are frustrated by the lack of progress. Well, make sure no crime goes unsolved. You are encouraged to call in with your tips, and you can receive a cash reward in the process. Here's a look at our Crime Stoppers report. On St. Croix, police say burglaries have taken place in estates Lorraine and surrounding areas, as well as in estate Richmond during the past few weeks. They say these burglaries have happened during the morning when the residents were not home. Police believe someone may have seen a suspicious person lurking about or driving a strange vehicle in the area. Turning to St. John on the morning of Monday, March 17th, prior to 10 a.m., someone stole a woman's 14-carat white gold and diamond wedding ring from a room at Canil Bay. Now, over in St. Thomas, police say on Saturday, March 15th, at approximately 6:15 p.m., a gun-wielding male entered Kenya's fashion store on Comprinson's Gata. Before fleeing on foot, he robbed the store of $5,000. Police are also asking you to help identify the people who might be buying or selling the valuables taken in any burglary or robbery. Call 1-800-222-TIPS. You can also text USVI plus your message to crimes at 274-637. The minimum reward for the arrest of an armed robber is $900. For a burglar, it's $714. Senator Kenneth Gittens, chairman of the Committee on Homeland Security, Justice, and Public Safety, indicated that he was deeply saddened by another deadly shooting at Fort Hood Army Base in Texas. He extends sympathy to the many comrades that may be living in the territory. Senator Gittens also stated that our servicemen and women are committed to the service of protecting our country, and therefore we must be committed to providing them the resources and services they need to transition back to normal civilian life, and the overall safety of our community is of paramount importance. Meanwhile, turn our attention, military investigators are still trying to figure out what set off Army Specialist Ivan Lopez on a deadly shooting spree at Fort Hood. Bigat Shaban is at the base with the latest.
Before opening fire inside the Fort Hood military base, Iraq War veteran Ivan Lopez may have been struggling with the recent deaths of his mother and grandfather, according to a family friend back in his native Puerto Rico. So much grief, he said, might have set off a detonator in Lopez. 3 soldiers were killed in Wednesday's shooting, including 37-year-old Army Sergeant Tim Owens from Illinois. Owens' mother told CBS News her son was trying to calm Lopez down when he was shot multiple times. Military officials tell us Lopez purchased his weapon legally from this gun store about 4 miles from base. Investigators say coincidentally, the gun used in the 2009 shooting at Fort Hood was also purchased at this shop. The building where Army Major Nadal Hassan killed 13 people and injured more than 30 others was demolished just a few weeks ago. Texas Governor Rick Perry met with the victims of this latest shooting. He says they're resilient.
You still see it in the eyes of the people that you meet. You see it in the handshake that they give you, the strength of these people. They'll recover.
3 victims have been upgraded from critical to fair condition. Bigat Shaban, CBS News, Killeen, Texas.
Meanwhile, keeping our eye on the economy, the U.S. economy added 192,000 jobs in March, slightly less than expected. The unemployment rate held steady at 6.7%. That's near a 5-year low. U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder says the Justice Department is investigating high-frequency trading to see if it violates insider trading laws. The practice uses advanced algorithms and high-speed networks to execute trades to get a jump on competitors. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all down. The Dow 159, Nasdaq 110, S&P 23. Coming up on News 2, a big celebration kicks off for the week of the young child recognition. Many events, including a parade, is in store to celebrate our young ones next week. Details coming up next. The Department of Human Services Office of Child Care Services and the Head Start program joins the National Association for the Education of Young Children to commemorate the Week of the Young Child. That's from April 7th through the 11th. Now on Monday, April 7th, the Community Methodist Head Start Center on St. Croix and the Newt Hansen Head Start Center on St. Thomas will kick off the week with a mini parade. Students at the William George Head Start Complex on St. Thomas will learn quadrille dancing on Wednesday, April 9th, and students in the Savan Marcelli Center will host a fitness day on Thursday, April 10th. Also on April 10th, the Office of Child Care will host a free public screening of Beyond Babysitting, which is a short documentary about child care qualities. The public forum will be held at the Sugar Estate Head Start. That's from noon to 1:30 p.m. The month-long observance of VI history ended with a bang at the Arthur Richards and John H. Woodson Junior High Schools last week. The grand culmination of VI History Month at Arthur Richards was entitled Virgin Islands Pride, as students took to the school stage impersonating about 15 outstanding Virgin Islanders, from Liberator General Moses Butto Gottlieb to San Antonio Spurs All-Star Tim Duncan of the National Basketball Association. At the John H. Woodson Junior High School, staff members and students prepared and served all the favorite local dishes and treats to give parents and visitors a taste of Woodson. And big congratulations to students and faculty at the Ivana Eudorican High School. They won a 2014 EPA Environmental Quality Award honoring its tilapia aquaponics program. The award notification came in a letter signed by Regional Administrator Judith Enck, who called it the highest recognition presented to the public for those who have demonstrated an outstanding commitment to protecting and enhancing environmental quality and health. The project is an aquaponics system in which fish are raised in tanks. Water from the tanks is circulated into a hydroponic system that uses nutrients from the fish waste to grow vegetables. The EPA will honor this year's winners at a ceremony April 23rd. Well, think you know a thing or two about ballroom dancing? Well, these students, they have been practicing and now they are ready to show off what they got. Be sure to head to Reichel Center for the Arts to support St. Thomas and St. John's 5th graders as they compete in a lively ballroom dance competition. Now, Dancing Classrooms Virgin Islands presents Colors of the Rainbow. That's Saturday, April 5th at 3 p.m. at the Reichel Center. Now, Rodney Lopez, who is the Dancing Classroom's National Program Director from New York City, will be the MC. It's free and open to the public. 7 schools will be competing for the big trophy. Also on Saturday, April 5th, 8 p.m. until, for the adults, it's Noche Latina with Rodney Lopez at the Grand Cru Yacht Haven. You can learn a few steps or two. Well, the opportunity for you to bid on an enticing assortment of items, from restaurant gift cards, gift baskets, to jewelry and trips during a silent and live auction is coming up on Saturday as Antilles School presents their annual gala. You can enjoy hors d'oeuvres, world-class entertainment, and dinner. Each year, the Advancement Office, along with many parent volunteers, organizes this premier social event for the entire school community. It is the largest special event fundraiser for Antilles. Proceeds from this event directly benefit the students and provide funding for programs and resources. DVSAC is ready for its major gala. A Spring Fever Teal and Purple Party will be held on Saturday, April 5th from 9 p.m. to 1 at the Palms at Pelican Cove in St. Croix. There will be a silent auction and raffle prizes, dazzling jewelry, trips, wines, and other surprise gifts. DVSAC stands for the Virgin Islands Domestic Violence and Sexual Assault Council. Their mission is to end domestic violence and sexual assault by raising awareness, and DVSAC is striving to reach more families and, of course, funding. It's going to be the biggest fete ever seen, Carnival 2014, and things are heating up starting from this weekend. Here's a look at some of the events so you can go ahead and mark them on the calendar. The Calypso Elimination Tent, that's on Saturday, April 5th at 8 p.m. The Prince and Princess competition is on Sunday, April 13th at 5 p.m. Then the Queen Selection Show, Saturday, April 19th, 8 p.m. The young ones hit the red carpet for the Toddlers Derby, Sunday, April 20th at 5 p.m. And that event also includes the Best Dressed Doll competition and the traditional games at the Lionel Roberts Stadium. Be sure to stick around. Your News2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.